Hey everybody, welcome back to the Taco Puppy podcast, and I am back with another review for you guys this week. Hope everybody's been having a great week so far. Or hope you had a great weekend before that. Back with another review. My week's been going pretty good so far. If you're a wrestling fan, for all my wrestling fans out there, as you know, this past weekend has been crazy. There was New Japan Pro Wrestling's Southern Showdown. There was Ring of Honor Best in the World, and there was AEW Fighter Fest. I've seen Fighter Fest, loved it. Saw Best in the World, also loved it. They got Eli Drake. I haven't seen New Japan yet, but I've heard some good things about it also. So got the wrestling out of the way for all my K-pop fans out there. I'm going to see Impact in August and going to see Monster X in July. So that's happening. So if you're going to those concerts, let me know who you're excited to see and what's your favorite song by each group. And okay, now that the wrestling out of the way and K-pop out of the way, let's get into the anime. I love doing these reviews. I absolutely love them. As I always say, it gives me so much more time to watch other animes now than just what's out. I'm clearing off my list. Well, not fast. That's a lie. Because my lists are very long, but I'm slowly getting with animes I hadn't seen before or hadn't even heard of before. And this was another series, so another review for you guys here. And this review is of the anime Air. Air is by Kyoto Animation, and it's a visual novel. And the visual novel is made by the same company that made a little anime that you may have heard of called Clannad. I'm sure you've never heard of it. I'm sure you've never seen it, but you should watch it. But Clannad and Air, and also one more, I want to say it's Canon or Canon, something of that nature, and they're all made by the same company. So, if you have seen Clannad, then you'll love Air in a review. That's it right there. If you love Clannad, you'll love Air, point blank period. Okay, but no. On a serious note, Air, it's very, very similar to Clannad in bits and pieces. The story itself is a bit different, but the characters the characters are almost identical in their actions, in their ways they interact with each other. Especially the main two characters, which are our main female character is Mizuyu, and our main male character is Yukito. And is almost identical to the story from Clannad as far as main female character, and their interactions with each other, the way they sort of fall for each other and also need each other and kind of lean on each other. The base of the story is sorry about that. That was my phone. Didn't know that was going to happen. I'm going to just read synopsis here from my anime list. That way I make sure I don't miss anything. Yukito is on a journey in search of the winged maiden who was bound to the sky centuries ago. After hearing an old childhood tale from his mother, as Yukito shows his puppet show to people in an attempt to make some money, he finds himself in a small town in which he did not expect to stay very long. Okay, I had to cut my phone off there. Where was I? Oh, he found himself in a small town. He didn't expect to stay very long. However, when he meets an unusual girl named Miss Misuzi, things take a drastic turn as he is invited to stay with her. And that's the gist of the story. Yukito is there in town. He does his puppet show with this little puppet thing he has that kind of dances around, but he doesn't have a string or anything. It's odd how he does it, but he learned it from his mother. She passed down to him, and that's how he learned to do the puppet show. He meets, I'm destroying her name here, Misuzi, and they become kind of friends. She is a bit quirky, kind of odd, but he moves in with her and her mother. Her mother is actually her aunt. Her aunt's taking care of her. Her father's away, and her mother, if I'm not mistaken, has passed away. So he lives with them. The mother, she's a typical kind of like, she likes to drink, she works, she's a bit flirty when she gets drunk, kind of out there a little bit, kind of rebellious, but she loves Mizuzi. She loves her to death, and she's sort of afraid to show it because she isn't her real mother. So she is kind of afraid of getting attached just because she doesn't want to build up something that can be taken away so easily. Because she's not her mother, and she hasn't even adopted her. She just lives with her. So we go through the process of him kind of hanging out with Mizuzi, but also kind of learning about the Winged Maiden and learning how not only does he know their story, but each of these characters also seem to be in conjunction with this like Winged Maiden, and they all have a connection to her. In fact, there's one character, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Michiru, who's a little girl, around, they don't have an age on him. She's around like 10, maybe 10 or 12. She's a little girl who likes to just kind of annoy Yukito, beat him up a little bit, like a little sister big brother type of thing. But then you later on find out something about her that leads to a really dramatic scene, and it was actually pretty sad. Like it was kind of hard to watch because it was you didn't really see it coming. It kind of came out of nowhere, and they kind of hit you with it right in the face. But there's her, and there's so many characters in this show. There's Kana, I believe, either Kana or Kano, who has the mother who can she doesn't have Alzheimer's. That's not what she has. But she has memory lapse because of her other daughter dying. When the other daughter died, she sort of lost that part of her memory, and at times she sees her other daughter as that daughter, and she gets confused on who is who. So sometimes she forgets she even has a second daughter and just thinks about that one daughter. It's again very emotional to watch. Very Clannad-esque. But as the story progresses, you learn more about the Winged Maiden. You learn more about how each character is related to said story, and you even get a flashback of how everything connects around episode maybe 8, between from like 8 down to like 12 until the end of it. Excuse me. You get a flashback of this like far off land in the sky, and essentially what takes place there passes down to what we know now as the Winged Maiden story, and everything goes back to that time, and it all connects in the end. And it's the way it connects, it's beautiful. It's very beautiful the way it connects. And I don't know, it's hard to explain. Yukito is your essentially kind of rough around the edges guy who likes to have fun. He can be caring, but he's kind of unattached to people. Mizuzi, she loves people. She's very interactive, very caring, but again, she's sort of not too attached. She loves her mother, but you sort of see that relationship hit a rocky place at one point too. There's a really emotional point at one point where, because Mizuzi has a disease that apparently when she gets too close to people and starts to care about people, she gets sick. That's sort of her thing. She kind of goes into what sort of mimics a seizure, kind of. The only way I can describe it, it's like a seizure mixed with like a hissy fit, sort of. For those of you who don't know what a hissy fit is, that's sort of a country thing, I guess. Like how a child in the store would just burst out crying because they want a certain toy or something. Kind of like that. She would go into something like that, mixed in with kind of like a seizure. And that's kind of her sickness. So at one point she gets really sick to where she's in a wheelchair, and there's this moment on the beach with her and her mother, and my goodness, it will bring a tear to your eye. It definitely will. I when you get to that scene, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so again, like I said, if you love Clannad, you'll love Air. Me personally, I didn't love Air quite as much as I love Clannad. Clannad's just on a whole other level. Clannad will break you down to your core. And Air will also, but Air is missing like one teeny pinch of like sadness. And if it and if it was at that one little pinch, it'd be great. I gave it I want to say 8 out of 10, maybe a 9. It's a really, really great series. It came out in '05, but I didn't realize it was that old. I was like, wow, I thought it was a little newer than that, but yeah, 2005, only 12 episodes. Again, it's a beautiful, beautiful show. The show looks amazing. The dub sounds amazing. Graphically, it's great. Character-wise, each character has their own unique qualities that sort of make you want to like each one. And again, I had my characters mixed up. There is a character, Kano. Kano actually lives with her sister. Her sister's a doctor, and Kano also has this like weird sort of sickness type of thing going. There's one moment where Kano leaves and kind of runs away, and they find her in a temple. I believe that's her, and she had cut her wrist or something of that nature. Because she's also connected to the Winged Maiden story. The Winged Maiden story, it overlaps so much in this show. Each character sort of has their own piece of the Winged Maiden puzzle, so to say. Each one kind of has their own slot to where you fill in their story here and here and here and here, and it all just kind of comes together. There's an OVA, I believe, that takes place strictly in that world that's in the sky. I have to go back and watch that one, but I've heard it's good too. It kind of fills in gaps, I believe. But I can't recommend it enough. Again, if you love Clannad, then there's no reason you won't love this. I can't see someone liking Clannad and not enjoying this at all. They're very similar animes. They look similar. Opening theme songs again, just it's not quite Dango, but my goodness, is it good? Like, that's all I can say. Again, it's dubbed, so you can watch it dubbed and fall in love just as much as ever. That's basically my review. Air is a great, great series. If you love slice of life, if you don't mind a series that's a bit sad and that may or may not make you cry, I highly recommend it. Yeah, so that is my review of Air. That's basically it. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you've seen it, tell me what you thought about it. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you not really care for it? Let me know below. As always, I will be back in about 2 weeks with I want to do a discussion on Fooly Cooly season 2 and 3, and kind of talk about if they were actually needed or not needed. It's kind of where I want to go with that next, and then I'll be coming back with probably a discussion about my favorite shows from this past season and shows that I'm looking forward to in the summer season. So yeah, so until then, as always, leave a comment below, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to thumbs up or thumbs down, depending on how you're feeling. Negative comments are also welcome. Leave those as well. And yeah, check out our links below. And until next time, this has been Taku Puppy and Maho out.